Good morning, children.
Morning, ma'am.
Till now, we completed the lesson Attitude is Altitude. Along with that, we even completed the comprehension part, that is, answer the following questions. I have means we all discussed, of course, 5 questions, and I have asked you to do the remaining question and answers as the homework. And now, hope you have completed that. And now, let us go to the next part of this lesson, that is the vocabulary. I mean, some kind of words, those words in our parts of speech are considered as adjectives. What is meant by an adjective? As you all know, you people are in the 10th standard right now, so you might have, of course, completely have the knowledge of the word adjective. Adjective is nothing but which defines the quality of a person or of a thing. Now, in this lesson, the main topic is about Nick Vujicic, and now some of the qualities of Nick Vujicic has explained in this particular topic. Now, a quality has been given in the book. Please, you all go through the book. A quality has been given in the book. I mean, an adjective is given, and in front of that word, a small box is given in which we need to put the right symbol. Means whatever the qualities are possessed by Nick Vujicic, that has to be put in the mark, in the tick mark, in the box. It's especially about the good qualities only. Positive. This is the quality which we find in Nick Vujicic. So, my dear children, put the tick mark in that box. Positive. And next comes is negative. Does he have negative qualities? No, not at all. He is very, very positive. So, put a tick mark against the word positive. Next, the word coming is optimistic. Optimistic, what is the meaning of optimistic? What quality is that? Which is in Nick Vujicic means he is always very positive towards his life. Being, having a very good opinion about the life. Being very negative, instead of being negative, he is very, very much positive. So, always he is optimistic about his future. That is the very next quality. Put the tick mark in the box. Next one coming is generous. He's always generous, he's always kind, he's always, good-hearted person. And the other one, he's quite confident. Put the tick mark in that box. Confident means, in spite of his disability, he is very, very confident. He also gave confidence to other persons in his motivational speeches. Next one is smart. He is good, he is smart. And the other one is courageous. Isn't he courageous, my dear children? Yes, you have to say yes, because he never sat at one place. He was, sometimes he may be depressed, but at the very next moment he was very courageous, and he has considered all his disabilities as an inspiration to the other people, and he moved on very courageously in his life. Next, independent. This is also one of the good quality which we find in Nick Vujicic. He is very independent. Means he doesn't depend on others, because who were behind, who taught this kind of quality means the parents behind him has taken very much efforts to make him independent. Next, obedient. Obviously, he has to be. He is an obedient person. He is an obedient person. Next, other quality, other adjective which we find in Nick Vujicic is he is very, very creative. Creative. He used to give very, very good speeches, motivational speeches, which motivated, which his creative ideas gave a lot of good ideas to the people all over the world. As he moved total in the across 24 countries in the world, so his speeches also wandered here and there, and hence he is proved to be very, very creative. So this is something about the part of vocabulary. Now, Next one is pick out from the text the examples that support these attributes. So this one I am giving you for the homework. First one they have given in the textbook, and then I'll explain you. Basing on the first example, you people, you just carry on choosing the attributes, choosing those things from the lesson. The very first one is a positive. What is the positive attitude which we find in Nick Vujicic is, in spite of his disability, he has become very great. Isn't that a positive aspect? Of course, because in spite of his not having legs and arms, he proved to be very, very positive. That means he never cried feeling about his disability. He moved forward in his life, which shows that he is very positive towards his life. So like this, you just fill up the remaining blanks, taking the attributes, taking the qualities of Mr. Nick Vujicic. Now, go to the next one. They have given the 4 answers. Now you tick the word right expression which is nearest in meaning to the word underlined in each sentence given below. They have given a word in this sentence and we need to pick the nearest word, the synonym, the meaning to the underlined word of this sentence. First one, I'll read it for you. Water sports aren't Nick's only thing. He also plays golf with a club tucked under his chin. Now, which is the word underlined here? Tucked. T-U-C-K-E-D. What is the meaning of tucked? 4 meanings have been given, my dear children. You pick one word which is very, very nearer to this one. The meaning of the underlined word tucked is 4 options. One is kept, A, that is. Second one is, B is pulled, C is covered, D is tied. Now, the appropriate word for the underlined word tucked is A option, that is kept. Now, similarly, shall we go to the second one? Yes. His distraught mother couldn't bring herself to hold him until he was 4 months old. Now, which word is underlined over here? Distraught. And the 4 options given here are A, angry, B, careless, C, shy, and D, anxious. The appropriate word is D, anxious. Now go to the third one. Despite the risk of bullying, his parents insisted on Nick's attending mainstream. The word underlined is bullying, and the 4 options given here are discrimination is A, B is humiliation, C negligence, and D failure. Now, the correct option is B, humiliation. Shall we go to the fourth one?
Okay.
Nick, who was teased and bullied, had an electric wheelchair for mobility and a team of carers to help him. The word underlined over here is mobility, and the appropriate meaning in these 4 things are A, socializing, B, movement, C, travel, D, safety. Now the correct word is for mobility is movement, moving here and there. Now shall we go to the 5th one? Yes. Nick managed to pull through to become an international symbol of triumph over adversity. The underlined word is adversity, and the 4 options given here are A, disability, B, poverty, C, difficulties, D, opposition. The correct and appropriate word for the word adversity is disability. Means in spite of his disability, Nick managed to come out as an international symbol of a triumph. Now the last one is, the challenges in our lives are there to strengthen our convictions. The word underlined word is convictions. What is the meaning of that? A, feelings, B, practices, C, beliefs, and D, characters. The correct underlined word meaning is beliefs. So, children, we have come to the part of this word as well as the expression. Now, we'll go to the third, Roman 3. Read the following descriptions about persons and fill in the blanks with the words that match with these descriptions. The very first one is, Ashok is a very unpleasant and rude fellow. I don't talk to him. He is dash. Actually, certain words are given over here, and in the sentence, basing on this sentence and the meaning which is hidden in this sentence, we need to pick up a word. What is the first one? Ashok is a very unpleasant and rude fellow. I don't talk to him. So these are the qualities mentioned to the kind of a word which is given in the box. What is that? The very first one is, he is boorish. Boorish. He is boorish. Next. Second one, Srinu is very confident, elegant and polite. But sometimes he does not appear to be sincere. He is suave. 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 He is suave. Third one, Sujata is quiet and calm. She doesn't like to spend time with others. She is interested in her thoughts and feelings. So she is an introvert. Introvert meaning who doesn't like to spend time with others, means who will be always with themselves, talks very less and feels to be very quiet and calm. Introvert is the answer. Now the fourth one, Ramesh is very sensitive. He always shows sympathy for people who are suffering. He is compassionate. The word is, the actual appropriate word is for the qualities mentioned here is compassionate. Next, fifth one. My neighbor is such a person that he has a feeling of hatred for others. He desires to hurt others' feelings. He is malicious. Malicious means, who is a person, he is a kind of person who doesn't like others. He develops, hatred feeling against others, and he always wants to hurt the feelings of others. So this kind of nature is considered as malicious. Next one. My father pays careful attention to every detail. He makes a thorough planning for everything in our home. He is meticulous. That means few people will be there who will be very much careful for each and every small details. And they make the plans, thorough planning, thorough procedure, etc., etc. So this kind of persons are considered as meticulous persons. Next, seventh one. Prem is an extremely unpleasant person. He always tries to offend people. He is obnoxious. Obnoxious characteristic type of people. Now, eighth one. My mother is very calm and peaceful. She doesn't get excited or irritated easily. She is what kind? Placid. The appropriate word is placid. Now, go to the ninth one. Rahul is a very lively and confident person. He enjoys being with his friends. He is an extrovert. Who is an extrovert? Who always wants to, spend time with friends and others, relatives, etc. And who is also very lively and confident person. He is considered to be who? An extrovert. Next, Sridhar is always afraid of speaking in the class. He is timid. Few people will be there in the society who doesn't speak much. They are always afraid. Before uttering any word, they think twice. They think thrice also. And sometimes they never speak also. So such kind of persons are considered to be very timid kind. Followed all of you? So these are the certain qualities and certain terms which matches these qualities. Now, going to the next one, that is relative and non-defining relative. Defining and non-defining relative clauses. What is meant by a clause? A certain type of sentence which explains about the relative and the defining relative clause as well as the non-defining relative clauses. What is that? I'll read a few examples. Let us read the following sentences. The first one is, the woman who taught him surfing had been bitten by a shark. That is, I have read a sentence for you. You go through your book. The very first sentence is, the woman who taught him surfing had been bitten by a shark. This is the first sentence. We need to define whether it is a relative, defining a relative clause or a non-defining relative clause. The very first sentence comes under the defining relative clause, because I'll go through the second sentence also, which is considered as the non-defining relative clause. Then I'll explain the difference between these two, defining and non-defining relative clauses. The woman who taught him surfing had been bitten by a shark is a defining relative clause. You are defining about a woman. You are completely defining about a woman, about the quality or whatever has been happened with that woman. You are straight away defining about that woman is considered as a defining relative clause. Now coming to the second point, Nick, who was teased and bullied, had an electric wheelchair for mobility. Nick, comma, who was teased and bullied, again comma, had an electric wheelchair for mobility. This is considered as a non-defining relative clause. Why we are defining it as a non-defining relative clause means, in a non-defining relative clause, this is extra information is added about a person. In the second sentence, we have added some extra information. First we have added that was he was teased and bullied. We have completed, but we didn't put a full stop over there. We have come across, we have put a comma over there. That means still the sentence is of course not completed. Again, we are going to define something about this person again. First we of course explained that he was teased and he was bullied, of course. And what is the next part of the sentence is, he used to move on an electric wheelchair for mobility. Means he uses electric wheelchair for his mobility. The relative clause adds extra information about Nick. First we explained that he has been bullied and teased by some people. At the same time, we are also adding some extra information about the person who is in the first part. So this is about non-defining relative clause. So I think you understood the difference between the defining relative clause and non-defining relative clauses. The first is, it defines the woman. What is that? The woman who taught him surfing had been bitten by a shark is nothing but defining about a woman. This clause is defining about the woman. The second is defining the non-defining relative clause. That is, it is adding extra information about the person whom we are referring here. That is, Nick, comma, who was teased and bullied, had an electric wheelchair for mobility. Means we are adding some extra information about the person whom we are referring in the first part of the sentence. So this is known as the non-defining relative clause. So we can also say that we can also easily recognize a clause as a non-defining relative clause when a hyphen or when a comma is of course placed over there. That means, example they have given, you see, the brave 26-year-old who is mainly a torso plays football and golf, swims and surfs. Means you see, you observe a small hyphen is there, a pause is there, like a hyphen and a comma, which clearly exhibits that this is a non-defining relative clause. Hope you all understood the difference between the relative, defining relative and a non-defining relative clause. So, basing on the above examples, my dear children, you just complete these 5 things as your homework. And coming to the next, even we have the things where you particularly decide whether that comes to relative defining clause or non-relative, non-defining relative clauses. So 5 plus 5, 10 examples they have given, which I am giving you for your homework, etc. And the last part of this is you just write a biographical sketch. Certain amount, just a small para has been given over here, and the points are also given here to be covered in order wise. And basing on this, you just write a biographical sketch of a person, his life, his activities, his whereabouts, everything has been given. The only thing you have to do is you just frame that into a proper sentences and make it a paragraph. So with this, we come to the end of this particular session, I mean this lesson. Once again, if we review what we have come across, all these things means we studied about a handicapped person, a disabled person. We can't say disabled, but by birth, of course, he is not having legs and arms, but by nature, he is very, very confident. By nature, he is very, very brave, very courageous and determined. And in spite of his disability, he motivated, some crores of people. And because of his teachings, we can say, because of his teachings, because of his inspirational teachings, many people have achieved a great success in their life. And he also said, sitting at one place, feeling very low, feeling depressed is not the alternative in the life. Though you have disability, you just come across that and you just move ahead towards your life. So that is your attitude which makes you stand high in the society and achieve the name and fame in the society. So for now, goodbye.